Hello and welcome to the Dinosaw number 248, another 7 curious interesting things I saw last week. So as ever, let's crack on. First one is Spectrum. This is by Sandesh Manik and it is creating a ultimate, essentially infinite spray can. So you can choose any color, it'll even do fades. Now you think this is easy, you just get a bunch of spray cans and join them together, but it isn't that easy apparently. You need to use microbursts because the cans all at different pressures don't play nicely together. He's had to invent this new pinch valve, rotary pinch valve system for it as well, but it does allow you to set the color and then spray any color you like. So if you do spray, then this is for you. There you go. Even got a brilliant explainer page, by the way. If you do want to make one yourself, you can. This is the Unitree AS2, new Robodog, and it has had an upgrade, and the upgrade is pretty much the weight it can carry. So you can stand on it if you are 105 kilos, it can do that. It has enough essentially resistance to do that, but it can carry 65 kilos for 2.5 hours, which is basically at the speed it runs, 11 miles per hour, it can do 13 kilometers. I know I'm mixing all my metrics up there, but there you go. Interestingly, you know, obviously if you need to outrun one of these things, it can now carry your body home all 13 kilometers when it does catch you, which is exciting. There you go. Your tire pressures are probably snitching on you or can snitch on you. So if you do have TPMS on your car, if you have a posh car, then it's reporting the tire pressures. Then it's reporting your tire pressures from a sender unit in each tire to your car. That is using unencrypted signals, radio waves to do that. Now, if you have a very simple gadget like the one on the left top corner, then you can actually listen to those signals. So each car is obviously sending 4 signals, and that has given your car a bit of a signature. Obviously, if you drive up and down the road every day, that signature keeps passing by, it can then track you. Now, obviously, it can do this also without line of sight. So it doesn't need a camera to do this. If your car, for instance, is in a car park, you can now be found because your tire pressures are snitching on you. So there you go. The point of this is really that car manufacturers need to get on top of this. This is potentially leaking data into the outer world, which might, if somebody wants to do it, can be quite dangerous. There you go. Google are getting on board with the WebMCP world. You're thinking, what on earth is this? If an MCP is new to you, that is Model Context Protocol. It's basically if an AI agent or an AI wants to talk to something else, there is a protocol to do it. It is a sort of it's a handshake between them. So for instance, if you have a piece of software and you want your AI to use that piece of software and you just want to tell your AI to create a 3D model in Blender, then Blender has an MCP, they can talk to each other. Awesome. So now all websites, or this is a Chrome thing, but it's an open standard, but Chrome can now have a WebMCP, which means if you are a web developer, you can define what agents can do on your website. So instead of the agent just rocking up and trying to use screenshots to try and figure out what's on your website and click around, then it can now be told exactly what it can do. It can do things like sign up to subscriptions, it can fill out forms, it can submit things, it can book things, it can buy things. So imagine if Amazon has WebMCP, your agent can go away and it can buy things on your behalf through their website. Interestingly. So there you go, nice. This is the world's smallest QR code. I can't really explain how small this is because it is bonkersly small. 10 of these will fit into 1 wavelength of visible light. Now that is quite small. Now why is this interesting? Well, that is actually etched onto a ceramic layer using an ion beam to this crazy resolution. Now, why is this interesting? Now, if you're trying to store data, then usually it's in a format that up until now, maybe DVDs, they could perish. Then if you try to put it into an electronic format, they can lose electrons. Electrons are the data. So things like magnetic or even chips cannot store it forever. But if you can etch it into something that is stable like ceramic, then it will last forever. If you put an A4 sheet or a printable sheet full of these things, it can hold 2 terabytes of data and won't decay. So now some of you might be thinking, hang on a minute, in the 1970s, didn't we have microfiche? And yes, we did. And it's pretty much exactly the same as that. But welcome to the 2026s. There you go. Interesting. This is a piece of research from the Technical University of Berlin, and they were looking at, does color affect how you hear things? And the answer is pretty much yes. There's been a lot of research into this, and they have definitively, or at least they've asked a lot of people, and they have come up with some conclusions. The conclusions are, if you are in a auditorium or a concert hall that is more saturated in color, then the sound feels colder to you. If it is darker in there, then you will like the music more. But likewise, if you change the color, it has no effect on how loud you perceive or quiet you perceive the music to be. There you go. So as we all know, if you're in a dark room, say a nightclub, and you hear a great tune, then you will like it more because it's dark. And finally, we have a really interesting test. This is by Kenneth Payne from King's College in London, and got 3 frontier models, ChatGPT, Claude and Gemini, to do a war game together. So it gave them the impression that they were essentially world powers, and said to them, right, okay, you're going to have a bit of a skirmish, a bit of a kerfuffle, and sort it out. So now do the thing you need to do. So it pitted them against each other. And what they would then do is they would say, okay, let's start out, let's have a bit of a blame game, and then they would escalate and they would moderate their talking, but then they would basically keep escalating. Now, this did not follow the way humans normally would escalate in these sorts of situations, and that's the entire point. Out of the 20 scenarios that they ran, or 20 tests, 21 tests, 20 of them ended up with at least one use of a tactical nuclear weapon. Now, that's not the big nuclear bomb things. A tactical nuclear weapon is a smaller thing, still pretty significant. So this is very important. Obviously, the news in the US, where the Department of War, whatever it's called now, basically having a go at Sonnet or Claude or Anthropic, because they're not letting them use their AI, because they're basically saying, look, if you let them do their own thing and you don't use human reasoning, then they're going to escalate and escalate and escalate. They don't know when to back down. So there you go. And obviously ChatGPT et al. Are just totally up for it. So make of that what you will. But there you go. If you ever wondered, if you let AIs rule the world, what would they do? They would probably start launching nukes. Interesting. Hopefully it was interesting. Don't worry about that last one, by the way. If it was, give it a like. I will see you next week.